Kia ora koutou katoa, welcome to my YouTube channel and on my Facebook page if you've come across this video on Facebook. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody who, for your likes and comments and shares of these videos on Facebook and or YouTube. If you're sharing from there, either one of those platforms, that's awesome. So I thank you for that. And also, you know, for this subscribing to my channel. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I invite you to do that now or at the end of the video. But now while you remember, okay? And also, if you're, following me on my Facebook page, or you haven't yet, to follow or like my page there as well. So I'm still going to be putting, as I've mentioned before, the videos are kind of slightly changing how what I'm doing with it. So I'm not quite there yet as to how I'm going to tweak it. But as you know, changes are happening everywhere and every way, every which way at the moment. And you will have been feeling them over these last, last couple of years, maybe longer. But even it might have been obviously a little bit heightened for a lot of us in this last year. So coming up to this whole viral thing, as well as during and after. So it's it's kind of pushed a lot of us, or most of us, or a lot of us, right out of our comfort zones. Some of us not so much. It depends on what's going on with you and how you view this whole what's going on with it. So anyway, you're probably feeling some more changes and things like that, some new beginnings, as you know, we've been going through this this new moon energy has been hanging out with us for these last couple of days, and of course yesterday. And so I'm just burning some sage and also some Palo Santo. So sage for cleansing and clearing. Just wafting some over your way and around me and around my space, because I too am a Gemini. So I will be paying particular attention to these, what's coming through for me with all of my signs actually. I don't always, but usually I remember something. I have to go back and have a listen to it, because I'm in the zone, you see, so I don't take so much notice of it while I'm doing it. So anyway, and you may be in the zone with something and you may not have been taking much notice of something that's going on around you too. So, for a little bit, it's like because you've been busy doing something else and doing some learning and sharing or teaching in some way, in some formal way, or, with what is going on for you. So anyway, I better get back to my introduction. So yeah, anyway, thank you for like I say, likes, shares, comments, subscriptions, and following and liking my Facebook page. So I will be putting a link up there, or the links up there for each sign on the days that that I normally put yous up. So obviously yous are going to be Mondays, unless like the last couple of weeks, or it's been a little bit challenging. But so I thank you for your patience in that. So with all of that. Anyway, so I'm kind of doing a slightly different format with the reads now, and see how that goes. It just feels more like I want to tighten it up a bit, and in a way, but we'll see how you go. So there may be things around you or about you that that you've been doing and practicing, or having a few runs at doing something for yourself. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up for you. Or to see, like, say, a workshop or an event of some sort. There's, I don't know what's going on, but some of you is maybe having a little practice run. That's what it is, with something that you're doing, and or testing, or putting out a survey of some sort, or getting some feedback for where to now, whatever, with something that you're doing. With a project that you've got on in mind. So anyway, I don't know, there seems to be a little bit of like dragging on. So maybe I feel like it's more like there's something that you've been dragging on, and so maybe and there's a combination of that you've been dragging this out, but also time has been dragging on, and it's like, okay, it's time now to start bringing some of this together and putting it into action, and just there's a few things going on there actually. So however, like I always say, however the story unfolds with the cards, it may or may not resonate with you. So if it does, that's wonderful. If it doesn't, then don't try and make it fit, but it may be more, because it may be more of a forecast for you, which is why you're not getting it right now. And generally the reads are about a forecast, but on saying that, often people are actually going through what is going, or just it's just happened, and they're maybe at the tail end or the beginning of it. So but just take what does and leave what doesn't until it happens or resonates with you, if at all. So, and that's cool. That's just the way it works. Okay. And if you don't, and I would suggest too that maybe checking out one of your other signs. So this is for Gemini, and Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus, and if it's in your chart, and either one of those signs. So if you don't know, then there's a link in the description box below that will take you to a website that will help you, that will figure it out for you. Okay. So there may have been like a little bit of toing and froing from, with things with you at the moment, or, or I'm seeing like like going around somewhere, like a slalom course, however you pronounce it. So some of you are going like, when you're seeing dogs weaving in and out, there's that sort of thing. Others I'm seeing like it's been like a slalom course, or a slalom course where skiers are, going in and, around these flags and that. So whatever it is, if there's something that you've gone on a bit of a journey, and it might seem like it's taken a while there, and for some of you, yes, it has, and it's not over yet, because there's still more learning, which is so amazing. But it's time to bring something together so you can move into the next phase of your journey, of one of the journeys in your life. Not all of them, but it's one of them, or maybe two or three that are linking together right now, whatever it is for you. But they will definitely, obviously, play a part in your life. Of course, all round it may be for some of you, whatever it is. Okay, so where are we going? Okay, so there's a quiet period at the moment, a time to bring things together. I'm just feeling like, okay. Anyway, so I'm going to use the my Starman Tarot deck and the Energy Oracle cards today, or this way, and possibly these. We'll see how we go, what these talk about, and if I feel like we need to clarify it, then we'll go there. So actually, as I was preparing and shuffling and getting the sage ready for, and just doing a bit of saging, it's like, as I was shuffling, it's like there is a a card came out, and it's the High Priestess. God, I'm all over the place. So some of you must be like all over the place. I've actually come right, believe it or not, after being okay with sitting right well, still in my energy, and not being so all over the place for, today and yesterday. But gosh, now I'm back into this funny, like, in a way, a dithery sort of a mood or space. That's kind of like, what the hell? And just like getting tongue-tied, and it's like, okay. So there seems to be something like coming into alignment with some of you. It's like maybe there's a bit of a resistance in going this way, and allowing yourself to like take the lead, or be the leader, or say something, or do something, or step up out from behind the shadows, or out from behind the third row of seating, and then move up to the second or the first row. And maybe some of you are like, it's been like that, and you're moving out the front. So some of you maybe like might be a little, maybe a little bit backward and coming forward, or slow and coming forward, and that's okay. Whatever it is for you, it's your choice. At the end of the day, we all have free will, which is where I'm going back with these, how these readings are running. So it's, there is, to give you maybe an idea of the future, what the future possibly holds for you, these readings. So they may or may, like I say, they may or may not resonate with you. So we all have free choice. But it's you know, with the cards coming up, that usually gives us a little bit of a guidance and a little bit of clarification. Okay. I don't know why some of you may not have heard this, that message come through, and they're just saying, this is like, I'm hearing, and I'm seeing, like, this too will pass, whatever it is, and you're getting there. Okay, this is a little bit, oh man, okay, I'm just getting this energy to like settle down. Okay, so anyway, the High Priestess came out when I was shuffling. And so there's something about intuition, and because when she comes, she brings all these mysteries as well, just like similar to the moon. So with them two connected, and it's interesting because the moon has come up a little bit later, but but so at the you know, in the past, you know, okay, where they're going back to so the High Priestess, I'm hearing, like, for you, for Gemini, there's something about listening to your intuition, and being, you know, and allowing that wisdom and the knowledge from within to come through. You know, like you come through and allow you to, so you can find your way or lead your way, or whatever it is, you know, follow your way, or allow yourself to, you know, to freely move with it, whatever words you like to use. But it's like, you know, moving out there, and it may be that you are holding off, you know, from doing something, and waiting for someone else to, you know, give an okay, or give a clearance in some way, and that sort of thing. But for some of you, I feel like some of you are just beginning out on something brand new. So it's like, this is about you being in charge, taking in charge, and stepping up and stepping out, and whatever it is, and just giving it a go, because it's like you don't know until you've done it, until you've given it a go, how you're going to tweak it, if you're going to tweak it, and where you're going to tweak it, if you're going to tweak it, and, you know, what needs to be done, because it's all practice. It's one step at a time. And it's like, and then just bringing your business plan together, because I'm hearing, like, some of you, it's really like very early stages. It's just like the idea has been there, and it's now, you haven't, maybe shelved it, and it's now time to bring it out and, like, you know, do something, and, you know, maybe bring your business plan together, or something together anyway. So anyway, we're just going to do this. So the spread that I'm going to do today this week is, and I'm moving towards doing, is like a past, present, future, and then something about you, and then, you know, how what the challenge may be, and some, you know, some advice, or encouragement, whatever that may look for you, and a possible outcome as well. So, and how that could look for you. And like I say, this is all about free choice. Okay, and listening to your intuition. Okay, so anyway, the first card that's come out of the deck is the Prince of Pentacles. So the Prince of Pentacles in this deck is the same as what the king. What the Knight of Pentacles is in the original type decks. Okay, so here we go, have the Prince of Pentacles here, and he talks about money. The Pentacles is about money and financial wealth and career and that sort of thing. So in the past there has been something there, and I feel like maybe you have swapped careers, and, you know, money may not have been there, you know, like really flash coming in for some of you. Some others of you, yes, you maybe have been earning a pretty good income, but you've decided to change something or make a change, because the Pentacles is about the Prince, or the Knight is there's something about an action or something moving forward, moving on with an idea or a thought that's going to bring in money, basically, or, you know, like a business or a project or some sort of income in some way anyway for you. It may be studying, it may be a new job or something like that. But if there's something that because the Prince is like is in the sense that, you know, there's something movement within something that you've kind of looked at. Some of you, like I say, may have started. So it's I can consistently create my empire. So pretty much like the Page of Pentacles it's like planting the seed of a new beginning. You know, beginning something new that's continued on from, say, 1 to 10, or the ace to 10. And then the Page is like the next card, moving into like in the beginning of the next phase, or in the beginning of a new next phase. And next phase, it's a new one. Anyway, this one here is one of those, depending on what's going on with you. So, and then the Prince comes up with the Knight, and he's taking it that next step. So it's like, just, you know, so you know where I'm going with this, it's like there's the Prince is taking the next step from the Page, because it's like, yes, the Page has planted the seeds and that sort of thing, and there's a little bit of growth and then watching them grow and tending to them, but then, you know, and then watching them grow, but there's still the next step is like consistently looking after it and bringing in other things, or nurturing it, learning new things, and creating the empire, bringing it together. So some of you are obviously at that stage of bringing it together a little bit more, or it could be the beginning for you, okay? And then we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is interesting because it's come after that, and it's I give a wealth of seeding ideas. So there's after which, you know, which is the present. So in the past, you may have had all these ideas with the Prince of Pentacles there, and taken some action, and then maybe you slowed down a bit and didn't do it, or you've been doing some research and homework and studying and that sort of thing, whether it be actual course or watching, you know, reading books or watching YouTube videos, or, you know, doing small short courses here and there to help gain your, you know, your confidence, your knowledge, and that sort of thing. But anyway, the 10 of Pentacles comes in as I give a wealth of setting ideas. So something has come to an end and beginning of a new cycle there with the 10 as well. So with this in the present. So yeah, it's really cool, whatever it is. And it's to do Pentacles, you know, it's typically, like I say, about career, work, you know, financial wealth, and, you know, that sort of thing. And, you know, I'm just hearing like that, you know, that they're about creating it, shaping it, transforming it, and growing it. So there's that sort of thing. There's where these two cards have come in. It's like something is shaping now and forming more so with a new idea that's come from an old idea. So it's like you're getting something moving, which is cool. Or something that you've been sitting on for a little while. It's like, okay, and you've planted some seeds, and you've got going, and you've accumulated all this knowledge towards it, and some of you may be earning a little bit of money from it already, but there's something with more growing and learning from that, bringing it to more fruition here, with a, you know, maybe another set of ideas on from that, which is cool. So then we have the Moon and the Ace of Swords that has come out. They've come out together. So. And that's more in the future, okay, with these cards. So these is like, so what is my question there? So what does it, you know, look like for in the future for Gemini? You know, what is coming up for them or for you? So the Moon, okay, I perceive the truth through the inner veil and its reflection with the Moon, okay. So she brings, you know, look, those highs and lows, those ebbs and flows, as the like with the tides coming in and out. So that's what she's like. So there's going to be, and there will have been a little bit of, motion going through there. And you may have felt a little bit of motion sickness as well going through all that. But it's like there's been a lot of learning with the emotional side, and pushing and prodding, because that's what she does, is pulling out things and then helping us to shift them, and then, you know, allowing them to go, to release them and to let them go, so we can move forward with these new beginnings. So there's more to come, as usual, we never stop growing. But at the particular situation where you are now, it's like, or what is going on in your life now, there's maybe a few things that's been, you know, she's opening the doors basically. So then we have the Ace of Swords that come out with her to come out together. So I live through my highest values. And I feel like that's what she is, you know, that's to me is what she helps us find out, bring out of us, the truth. Helping us finding the truth within, because that's what she's about. It's like looking in, like that intuition. Helping us look in, like the High Priestess, that she's about intuition basically, and tapping into it, going in. And the moon makes us, you know, pretty much go. And sometimes we have no choice whether we know it or not. It's the energy just brings us and helps us to shift. And so the Ace of Swords, yes, there. So there's a new way. Yeah, there's something new in the way that you're thinking, and it's an old way of thinking or a pattern of your perception about something or some things that are going on in your life at the moment. So it's like she's bringing more of that. So, and that's cool, because that means growth. That means more growth, okay? I'm just hearing Spirit when I said okay. It's like, well, too bad if it's not, because something is happening. Gosh. And then we have, and this is you, that's like in the spread, and it's like Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. So, which is absolutely beautiful actually, because the Ace of Pentacles talks about, and you know, the aces are always about some a form of new beginning or something new coming in. So, but the Ace of Swords talks about, I carefully tend the seeds of success. So, like they say, there's all this stuff there are these cards here. It's like carefully tending them. Basically, taking some time to be still as well, so you get that guidance, so you can hear the guidance from the High Priestess. I know I never left her out, because I thought I'll chuck her back in, and she may come out later, but the moon is there as well with that energy. So it's like going in there and being still with the Four of Swords, bringing that sort of that's, you know, stilling the mind. I allow myself to rest in stillness, stilling the mind, so we can hear those amazing messages and guidance that the moon, the universe brings us. Okay, our guides, you know, are bringing us. And when we ask the question, it's like, okay, be ready to receive the answer. And the answer, you know, the reply or the symbol or what you've asked for may not necessarily be what you asked for in the way that you would like it to be, in a sense. So you may get something better, and you may get something, you know, that's obviously you're going to get something that's going to help you to understand what your journey is about, or what it is that you need to know the most to shift through things. Okay, so then we're moving more into now the challenge. Okay, so the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, well, he talks about, I believe in a fair world for all. Okay, so it's going into that space, and, you know, basically, and I feel like that's what it's maybe for some of you is you're maybe not, you know, rolling with that or rocking with that, or it's maybe an all faux pas with that. It's maybe something that's not quite sitting right with you for some of you, why it's come up as the challenge. But the challenge is really is like, you know, going into that space of, in a way, you know, not, it's learning that with sometimes there's nothing we can do, but sending like love energy. And it's like we're doing the best that we can do by the actions that we choose to do, we choose to take. So the King of Swords, you know, he's very much brings that energy of being and very much in knowing what he's thinking, who he is about, because he's a fear. He has that energy that who is firm but fair. Okay, is committed, and you know where they're talking about there. He's assertive. That's the word I want to hear. I'm wanting to say. Assertive, what I want you to hear, and pull out of you, being more assertive with yourself, and that's the energy I feel like he's bringing here. So you can, you know, move into that place and believe in a fair world for all, because if we're not doing it and we're not practicing what we preach, and showing our children, our grandchildren, you know, or whoever, and walking our walk, that's the, you know, for me, what Spirit is saying, that is the best way to do it. Okay. But I'm just hearing like, you know, so he's cut through all the bullshit, basically, sitting on his throne, in his power, in his knowing of who he is, basically, and in control of his thoughts, okay, and communicates efficiently and effectively, But also he's making decisions as well. So there may be something, because he's bringing in that energy. So that may be something that's going on with you about making some decisions. And it's just really what I'm hearing about, being honest with yourself and pulling things out. And that's what I feel like they're talking about up here, is like just going, pulling things together. And that's where, because you've got all the knowledge and the wisdom there now. So it's making it like, for instance, say your little package of who you are and getting yourself together, and getting yourself comfortable with that, basically. Okay, so what advice do you have to help them, or what suggestions do you have to help them move through this? Okay, we have the Prince of Swords. So the Prince of Swords, we just talked about, I live by my ideals, the Prince of Swords. So he too is one that will, I'm just trying to visualize where. So this energy here comes through quite quickly. To cut through any bullshit, basically. So, usually, in the deck he's before the king, but the king has come up and says that's the challenge. So what he's talking about here is really the Prince of Swords coming in with this young male energy. This energy is like lifting your energy and really like working on cutting through your own bullshit, really, or your own whatever stuff is going on there. So some of you may be like self-doubting, go through self-doubt as you're going through some sort of change, and there may be a little bit of up and down energy there with that, with the Prince of Swords. But he has this a strong energy, a young strong energy that he brings you, okay, to help you move through it. That's because the Prince of Swords, what it's like basically, I live by my ideals, okay. Can't say it any clearer than that. And then the Six of Pentacles is the possible outcome with this one, and I have more than enough, okay. So with this one, that seemed there was that not going into that space of lack, basically, and realizing and knowing that actually you have more than enough. Whether it be finances, and some of you, actually truly maybe do, and it's, maybe physically at this moment do, but maybe there's something where you that's happening where you may have gone into this like ego side of things, where the self-doubt goes in, and maybe some of you are going over the top, where that bullshiness and that side of the ego is coming out, where and that, so yeah, it's kind of like So either way with that, so it's about finding some sort of balance. So, and the Pentacles are about, in a way, about self-image and that self-esteem. So you may have gone into a funny little space where it's like, okay, because I'm just saying, where you're wanting to see something tangible happen, and I totally get that at times. For me, so it's kind of like in some action, but it's like. Where they're going. This is about taking a little bit of time to bring together, like taking the next step of creating it, or creating the next step of the step that you're at, and shaping it, transforming it, growing it, making it happen, basically. Because this one here, though, what I'm hearing is there will be a good outcome depending on your how you working with your mind, your mindfulness, and your awareness, and your spiritual side too. So doing spiritual work is is like, we have to be mindful. It brings in that mindful and awareness, because mindful and awareness is like, in a way, it's a part of our spirituality. So spirituality is not just about working with spirit. That's where I'm trying to go with that. So it brings us brings out, it's a side of us that is connected to, that honors and values all things in life, and is mindful in connection with, the universe, you could say, or nature, Mother Earth, Mother Earth, and all of that walks on it, watching how things grow and the magic within that. And even like, you know, spiritual and the fairy folk and spiritual side, as in, you know, the unseen as well. So whatever it means to you anyway. For some reason Spirit wanted to go there and just say that. That's the second time they said that today, because it's like mindfulness and awareness is a big part of, you know, doing the work that I do. And it's, for me, it's always been like that, and it's just got grown. And so some of you out there will know what I'm talking about, you know, in that sense. But we are all spiritual beings, basically, and we are all spiritual, whether it's unseen or that it's just or the nature side of things, and that, you know, getting in touch with the world energetically as well as physically. It's just, it's there. We all have that ability, okay? Or some say gift. But the Six of Pentacles talks about, you know, these the money, career, you know, basically, or, you know, some sort of financial wealth in some way. There's something there in being in that space of, I have more than enough, and that to help with that manifestation of bringing money in, or earning it, or whatever it is, and having that mindset of, because what I'm hearing is like shifting the energy. Okay, I just want to go this way now with this energy oracle card. Oh, that one wanted to come out. Okay, the sixth chakra is Archangel Metatron, so, which is like, you know, the third eye. So there he is. Have a wee chat with him, and he is number 40 in the deck. So there's something about, and you know, with the Pentacles coming in, and there's you there with the Ace of Swords as well. So this is the King of Swords. It's going into that energy, you know, when even though the Four of Swords, there is you going into that stillness space to sort out about your relationship with money, maybe, or how money looks at you, or the new way that you're thinking about it. It may be the new way you're going to be earning it, and the shift in that perspective or perception of what money is about, and, you know, and those breaking some of those belief patterns. King of Swords. So you may be a male, you know, that is an air sign as well. That could be you. So stepping into that space, there may actually be a male energy, another air sign that's in your space as well as the Prince of Swords. So in a sense, that is you as well, as, you know, bringing out that energy, those amazing gifts that you have, communication, and utilizing them in some way or form for whatever it is that you're doing, because this is where the money is. You have more than enough, okay? And then opening your third eye. Now it's interesting, my third eye, just as I picked it up and looked at it, started to like pulsate. So getting in, you know, into that touch of that. So grounding. So there's a foundation. There's number 4 is about security, foundation, and creating and being in a firm one. And when we're in that space and feeling like we have, you know, it's what it's working to, you know, towards creating that space for some of you. Some of you may be already feeling like that, but it's like, for some reason, there's whatever this project, it may bring a deeper sense of that, or more of that, or maybe the beginning of something for you in another way, which is really, really cool. So 0, once again, is like that God force energy that I see is like 0, and was like coming back to like before the 1, to that nothingness, as you could say, where there is nothing, and then we create something from that. And it was, you know, and coming into, in a way, it's like a homecoming. You know, we're finishing a cycle, coming into home, and we're celebrating it, but there's that nothingness, so we have a fresh, new, clean slate to begin the beginning of the next cycle. Whereas, you know, and then there we go. So there is, in a way, there is a fresh, new slate, canvas, basically, to build something, and as you're moving into like taking this next step or continuing with something. How cool. Because it's like, yeah, there's something going on, and I just feel like there's something, you know, don't let anything get in your way either, you know, or to stop you from that moving forward with that. Cool. I just feel like I want to get another card out from this one, this other deck, and see what they have to say. Ah, okay, the Hierophant, yeah. Search for spiritual meaning. So there's something there that maybe you're working on now with yourself, as you know, at the moment for some of you, and it's all going to be slightly different. It's going to be different for everybody. So with whatever the journey that you're on is so magical. So do allow the universe to help you to, because he is the master of, universal, bringing in that universal magic as well. Because I'm being reminded of the Hermit tucks away, but the universal, the law of the universal law of or the law of the universe. There's another way that's worded anyway. Cool, but there's definitely this. So the Hierophant goes and he's, takes a little time to explore, which is where that stillness comes through as well, and meditation, that side of things. It's like there's many different ways to find that stillness or be in that space. So it's limitless. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for you now, Gemini. So with lots of love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement and adventure, I leave you with that, alongside with coming from my amazing guides and helpers, and from all dimensions, from my multi-dimensional guides and helpers, as well as the galactic ones, but also the energy of Gemini. So bye for now. We'll see you next Monday.